Hey guys, welcome back. It's Friday, and man, it was just another really bad day in the markets. And this time, I also got clapped pretty hard on my first trade. Whack, just like that. I was down $1,000, which was literally on my new max stop on the day, which we made a video about not too long ago about updating my trading rules. So that was also when we added the no trading the day before a holiday 3-day weekend. So basically forcing a 4-day weekend. And the reason actually I'm looking at SOFI right now is because I think the market right now is seeming to be reversing a little bit. I mean, if you just look at the NASDAQ or the SPX, you can see that there's a huge bottom bounce going on. And I was just looking at a bit of the larger caps, specifically SOFI, because it moves obviously a bit more like a large cap because it is one, but at the same time it's had a lot of momentum behind it, so it's a little bit more day tradable. I've been back and forth on this one. You know, I was up like 150, then I gave back, and then I was up and gave back. Always very small kind of amounts because, you know, this thing doesn't really move that much percentage wise. But I figured, you know, the small caps are horrendous right now. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of trading in the right direction. And SoFi is the only ticker I'm up on. I could have been up a little bit more, but I just took like a $150 loss on SoFi, which was really unnecessary. So I'm constantly teetering around this max stop zone. Actually, Tom, the Discord, was asking today, you know, when do you stop, you know, once you reach your stop loss or what happens? Usually for me, once I hit my stop loss, I have like a little bit of a wiggle room. I'll reduce my size. And the second I get like 1% past my max stop, I'll stop out, because sometimes you just have one really silly trade that gets you to your max stop. And I've had it where I've been able to kind of crawl back out with small size. So that's kind of my philosophy behind it. But you obviously don't want to keep crawling in the wrong direction. And that's why I drop my size and then see if I can get some sort of momentum back. I have with SoFi, but just it's been a little bit tough, and I'm going to keep watching it. I feel like I can maybe snag a good reversal at one point. I'm going to keep on scalping it, but I don't know. It's a slow mover, and at one point I'm just going to walk away for sure. SVFD, let's talk about this ticker. This is the one that, you know, just like that, I'm down $1,000 on it, and it was really annoying, and it was just totally my fault, and I should have really just not traded it, and I'll tell you why. It's actually very obvious. So on the daily, this thing's pretty ugly. That's not why I should have traded it. The dailies have been not so nice anyway, but you could still trade them pretty fine. 3 million shares outstanding, okay, 13 million market cap. So this one's really, really small company, which is usually really good. The problem was it looks like it was kind of lacking a solid catalyst, and then on top of that, if you go to the 5-minute, this ticker is a little bit flushy, where it, you know, has these pops the upside flushes, pops the upside flushes, pops the upside flushes. And I was not as vigilant as I should have been, and I got stuck in one of those flushes. Let me show you guys exactly what happened. So this ticker had a pretty strong 7 to 8 move. This is usually when I make most of my money, but right now I'm sleeping in a little bit longer because I've been so under the weather. Maybe if I regain some I don't know, sleep or something, I'll be able to trade 4:30 again. Because my local time in Utah right now, I have to get up at like 4:45 and to get the 5 a.m. open, or the 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time open, which is 5 a.m. open my local time. So it's been a little bit brutal lately. The first 2 months, somehow I was able to do it fine, but lately in the last like 2 weeks of that period, it's just I've been getting more and more tired, more and more drenched, and I started making bad trades just because I was so tired. Anyway, with SVFD, the problem with this ticker is obvious. I traded a ranging pullback. Although that was not my intention. My intention was actually to start accumulating this one, and that's what I was doing. I was trying to buy here, and I wanted to quickly sell on the move to 6. That was always my plan. I tripped over my sell. I didn't get out. And then it was down here, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to try to get on the next little pop. It didn't happen and instantly flushed. So on this move, I literally lost like 15% on. It was devastating. It was horrible. And it wasn't even with big size. So like it was a small size position, but I still lost so much on it because I just got stuck in a massive flush. And I'm like, come on, man, like what is going on? Like every day has just been worse and worse in the markets, which is fine. Like why am I trading it though? You know, why am I doing this? I'm like more like, come on, man, to myself. Like why did you trade this? You know, that was just not good. At least I traded with small size. And I try to trade this, you know, red to green reversal, and I made a little bit of money back, but you know, small size, and I just kept missing the bigger moves. So I was like, SVFD, mentally, I'm shot on it. Mentally, I can't trade this one. So I'm gonna move on. I traded BSFC for a second. This was our second, big gapper today. It was up like what? This is like 1,100%, ridiculous 1,200%, and then just sells off. It had some pretty strong bottom bounces. I mean, we're talking like 30% or so. I tried a red to green move on this one, which actually would have worked, but I somehow took a loss on it. I was starting to buy with really small size. I don't even know why I closed out. I should have just kept on buying. But sometimes those big red trades put you in a red state of mind, and that's literally what BSFC is like a product of that. You could see that I just wasn't mentally ready to keep trading at this point, and I was thinking too much about my P&L and not enough about the ticker in front of me. So eventually I just kind of let the market sit for a little bit. I was like, okay, nothing's really working for me. What's the market doing? Okay, the market's selling off like crazy. And then I was thinking like, what are some nice large tickers that we've been watching lately? And I was like, yeah, SOFI for sure. And it was also selling off the market. It was following it very perfectly. And I got this bounce right here. This was a nice one. I instantly made like 180 or so on this move. Percentage-wise, it was a small amount, but I was able to crawl myself out. I made another on this move, and then somewhere here I lost quite an unnecessarily large amount. That was kind of unnecessary. And then I tried to trade this, but I kept on getting smaller size on it. I kept missing my fill like by, a few cents every time. So I wasn't aggressive enough once it finally was reversing. I noticed it was reversing because it had this nice hammer candle, plus the overall indexes were fully reversing. So I knew that this was going to be, probably run to VWAP, but I wasn't able to take advantage of that. So that was a little bit frustrating, and I feel like if I just keep watching it, maybe I'll get a setup. I don't want to like over trade for no reason, but I felt like I was kind of in the groove with the SOFI until I made this mistake. But yeah, most likely, I mean, no matter what, even if I get a few more good trades on SOFI, like some small scalps or so, I don't think I'm gonna really get that much more in the green. So another red day on the month here. And on the weeks overall, it's a red week. It's a red month now, and yeah, a red year at the moment. Oh, so annoying. But, it happens sometimes. In yesterday's recap video, I was showing last year's January. I only had one red day last year, January. So it's always a little bit different. I really hope that this isn't going to be my, second red month ever since going unlimited. So that's almost 2 years now. That would be annoying to get that second red month, but who knows? If we get another week like we had this week, it's going to be hard to get green. The best thing I can really do is just kind of keep it slow and steady, and wait for those good opportunities. It's always easier said than done, but that's pretty much what I have to do. Patience is key. And yeah, if it just keeps getting worse and worse, the market, and small caps aren't really getting any sunshine, I might take a few days off of trading, because that would be good for me just to sleep in for like a few days straight. And when I mean sleep in, I mean like wake up at 6:30 or 7 and just like maybe like recalibrate myself a little bit. There's another word I wanted to use, but I'm gonna try to keep it somewhat PC here, and I think that might be good. So if I do end up taking a few days off next week, that's why I'm just like, maybe I just need to take a quick pause. And it's never fun taking, a few days off when you're pretty much at your max draw, or hopefully at our max drawback. You're basically putting everything on hold when you're super in the red. And by doing that, I would definitely end the month red, which is like another reason I wouldn't want to, put myself on vacation. But who really cares if you're red on the month or red on the week? It doesn't really matter. What's important is that you're just being honest with yourself. You're realizing, the markets might be a little bit slow, and I'm being a little bit too reactive to the markets, and not being patient enough. So sometimes just putting a little bit of space between yourself and your current trend is often the best idea. So I don't know. I might do that. I'm not going to say anything right now, but I'm thinking about it. Why not? I wanted to take like a whole month off in like April or so. But who knows? Maybe April is going to be super hot, and right now it's just the time that the market's horrible. So I just got to be really honest with myself and think, if I was, let's say, very green right now, what would I be doing? Well, actually, if I was very green, then I would be doing something right. So maybe I should keep milking it. But if I'm very red right now, why am I still trying so hard? Maybe I just need to give it a little bit of time for either me to cool off or the market to, I don't know, cool off. It's just like getting worse every day. And usually I don't really care about what the overall market's doing. It doesn't really affect small caps so much. But the fact that there's a lot of fear in the market, the interest rates are increasing, Bitcoin's falling off a cliff, we have so much uncertainty right now, especially with Russia. It's still earnings season. I just feel like there's so much going on in the market where the traders are just scatterbrained. You could just really feel it. And they're tight on cash. You can feel that as well because we're not getting any continuation. We're not getting any resolution. So it just seems like people are just getting margin called and stopped out. And overall, there's just less liquidity. You can really feel that in the market because my trading style, I make money when the stock is going up and has that continuation and it's making new highs and it's a blue sky setup. That's really when I can milk the market or the ticker that I'm trading, and we're just not getting any of that. I mean, just look at SVFD just one more time, where the second this ticker tries to crawl to the upside, it just gets absolutely flushed in. And I just know a lot of traders today just took a big beating in our Discord. I tuned in for a second to see what Ross was up to. Boom, he hit it. He was way past his max stop. So it seems like anyone that's like a gap and go momentum traders having a really hard time. Sometimes you can get really lucky in a market like this where you just buy and all of a sudden it pops up 10%, you close out and you make your money and you're like, yeah, and you know what? Awesome if that happens. It happens to me sometimes. But on average right now, it's hard for me to be consistently profitable. And for me, that's always like a really big thing. I don't like these kind of, lottery ticket tickers where sometimes you get lucky, but most of the time it just keeps selling off or just does something that's, really against your strategy. So I just got to be a little bit more cautious. And for me personally, it's not an ideal market right now. Another red day, unfortunately. Gives me something to think about all weekend long. Hooray. SOFI is still crawling up, back up. So I had the right idea on it. I just wasn't really able to execute, which is a little unfortunate. Actually had a great 5-minute setup, but I think I'm going to call it there, guys. Maybe I'll keep watching. If I do keep trading anything, I'll write in the Discord. Otherwise, guys, have a great weekend. Don't stress so much if you're red. It's just how it goes sometimes. Other than that, don't forget to drop a like on the way out. I really do appreciate it. Consider subscribing if you're new. We'd love to have you part of the community. And like always, stay safe, make some awesome trades, and enjoy the weekend. Ciao, ciao, guys.